Hey guys, welcome to week 7 of distance learning. This week we're going to do the verb deber and using two verbs together in a sentence. So we're going to start with the verb hacer, which you know means to do or to make. So this chapter, the vocab again for chapter 3b is food. So we're going to use this to say like I make dinner, you make a cake, etc. So remember that H is going to be silent. So it's going to be hago, haces, hace, hacemos, haces, and hacen. Example sentences. I make the fish. Yo hago el pescado. You make the chicken. Tú haces el pollo. She makes las chuletas, pork chops. Nosotros hacemos la carne. Okay, we make the meat, and ellos hacen las papas. They make the potatoes. So using gustar with a verb, we did this back in chapter 1a. When you use gustar with an action or a verb, you don't conjugate the verb. You can use the infinitive form, which means the AR, ER, and IR are still attached. So remember back in chapter 1a, we talked about like, I like to run, me gusta correr, okay? You didn't conjugate correr, we left it alone. So that's the same thing we're going to be doing this chapter. So example, Maria likes to drink coffee without milk, so le gusta beber. Okay, notice we know how to conjugate verbs, but you don't conjugate it when it comes after the verb gustar. Me gusta comer. Nos gusta compartir. Okay, so notice we don't conjugate beber, comer, or compartir if it comes after the verb gustar. Also, notice it's always going to be gusta before an infinitive. So this whole chapter, it's going to be gusta if it's before an infinitive. Next is the verb deber, which means should or must. Okay, it's a regular ER verb. So we have debo, debes, debe, debemos, debes, and deben. Most of the time you will use the verb deber with another infinitive, just like we use the verb gustar, because deber means should, and most of the time you're going to be telling someone you should do something. So this chapter is all about your health and things you should and shouldn't eat to maintain your health. So you're going to be saying like you should eat fruit. You shouldn't drink soda. So this is what we just did with gustar plus infinitive and with deber and infinitives. So you cannot have two conjugated verbs together in a sentence. So in this case, we have a rule to follow. When you have two verbs in the same clause of a sentence, like for example, gusta correr, you conjugate the first verb, gusta, and we leave the second in the infinitive, correr. So for example, I should run, yo debo correr para mantener la salud. Okay, so I should run para mantener la salud means in order to maintain my health. So debo is the first verb, so it's conjugated. Correr is the second verb, so we leave it alone. If you conjugated them both, you would have I should, I run, yo debo corro, which makes no sense. Okay, so yo debo correr, we're going to conjugate that first verb and leave the second in the infinitive. It's the same lesson as you probably learned in elementary school in English. When two verbs go walking, the first one does the talking. Okay, this is the same thing. The first verb says who should do it, so it's I, and then the second one, you just say what the action is. Okay, it says write 5, but we're just going to do 3. So write 3 sentences using deber, should do. You can copy these. So 3 things you should do to maintain your health. Yo debo comer frutas. I should eat fruits. You should eat vegetables. And she should drink water. And then that para mantener la salud is that end saying that means to maintain one's health. And last, about sentences we shouldn't do. If you want to say you shouldn't do something, just stick the word no before deber. So yo no debo, so I shouldn't eat fats to maintain my health. You shouldn't eat ice cream to maintain your health. She shouldn't drink soda to maintain her health. Okay? And that's it for this week. After this, fill in the notes, the vocab. You have a quizzes and a worksheet. Have a good week.